Alright, I'm going to teach you guys how to play Bother by Stone Sour. This one, like with some more of my more recent videos that I've been making, I'm going to assume that you guys should know a little bit about chords just so I don't have to go through the explanation. If you don't, I've made a video where I teach you guitar fundamentals, basic chords, and if I say bar chord on whatever, you guys will know what I'm talking about. So, moving right along. This song is actually pretty simple. If you take away if you look at the tabs, it really seems confusing. And when I first saw it, I didn't think there was any way I'd be able to play this. But it's actually very simple. So, you start with a bar chord on your 6th string, starting on the 8th string. So it looks like this, that. Okay, and so you start like that, and then you just to start off, you have to obviously mute this, mute your E string. You don't need to hear that. And just strum it. Or you strum just this bar, all right, which seems a little bit weird. And then you hammer down the rest of the power chord, all 3 of these, okay? All right, so you have only 6s, and then you hammer down the 7 with your middle finger, 8 and 8 with your ring and pinky. And then you just pull off the same way you hammer down. So when you pull off, it's almost as if by the time you strum, your fingers are almost off anyway. You might not even really want to hear that. Alright? Then you give a slight pause, and you have to hammer down on each individual one, like you did a group one here, where you go. Now you have to do each one. So it starts off. Then you hammer down each individual string with each finger, starting from highest to lowest. And you pull off. Alright? I use this finger, I use the middle finger to do its fret, as if I was making the bar. And then I use my ring finger to do the other 2, just because it seemed a little weird to use my pinky, and that's just how I've gotten comfortable. But it doesn't really matter. If you feel like you can do the pinky, that's fine. So, up to that point, it sounds like this. Alright? Kind of went ahead of myself there. Once you're done with the hammer down and pull off, you start from the beginning, kinda. So watch. You do that, the hammer downs and pull offs. Once you hit that one, then put your other fingers down to make the full bar chord, strum, sorry, and then do the pull off. Alright, so it's... Alright, that's pretty much it. Just so you guys can see, I'll also show you the picking style of it here. So you won't be able to see my fret hand, but... Okay, so... Alright. With some of them, you're going to want to hit down on your strings just so it silences it instantly. Not too hard, otherwise you're going to start damaging guitar, but at least enough to quiet the strings, and you might even hear that in there if you listen carefully enough. Turn up really loud. So, alright, that's pretty much the intro. The verse is the exact same thing as the intro, minus the individual string hammer on and pull off. So, without that, it's just... Just over and over and over again. Until you get to the pre-chorus, which is also very simple. You just take rid of this middle finger and slide your, now what is a power chord, down 2 frets. I'm trying to think of the verses. Like, one of them is "So You Fed Me Shit to Digest," but that's just one example of the pre-chorus. So it's, never had a voice to protest, so you fed me shit to digest. Gotta do the little disclaimer. I don't sing. It just makes it so you guys know what I'm talking about, so it doesn't sound like just complete rambling. And I try to do as little singing as possible because I'm not good at it. I play guitar. So that's pretty much. Then once you go into the chorus, it's the same thing as the verse. Actually, it's just hammer down and pull off on the entire thing. Just and you don't need to bother. I don't need to. When he says I don't need to be, which I think occurs in every single one, then you just take the same power chord and move it down a string. So now you're starting on your E. Same fret, same everything, just, move it down an entire string. And do that kind of strumming. Down, 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 to down, down, up, down, up. Or however you want. If you hear the song, it'll be very simple to hear. So there's that. Towards the end of the chorus where it says, and once I hold on, let's see, I don't need to be, I'll keep slipping farther. And when it says, once I hold on, you go all the way down to a 2, start a power chord starting on your 2nd fret on the A, okay? So, and it's once I hold on, slide it up to 4 and 4. I should say 4 and 6, but your index finger starting on 4. I won't let go till it bleeds. And as soon as he says start saying bleeds, you start all over again with the intro. Alright. So once I hold on, I won't let go till it bleeds. Alright, the only thing left is the bridge where I gave an example of the pre-chorus where it says, so you fed me shit to digest. So, like I said earlier, where it says, so you fed me shit to digest, it's, so you fed me shit to digest. And right here, it's just an example of a bunch of power chords. You move up to back where you normally start, but you don't take this middle finger here. You just make a power chord starting on your 6th fret on the A string. I wish I had a reason. And when he gets the letter N in reason, slide down to 4. So you're, once again, these are all on the A. You don't move down to E at any point. So all these power chords start on the A string. This one's on 4. So I wish I had a reason. My applause are open season. Slide it down 2 more frets to 2. For this I gave up trying. And slide back up to 4. One good turn deserved my dime. And then it's just the chorus. Don't need to buy. Yeah, you get the idea. Alright, as far as I know, that's the entire song. When pieced together, it's very simple. As long as you can do a bar and power chord. On acoustic, it's a little harder because, strings are a little bit thicker usually. But if you have an electric. Another little trick, since I have a little bit of time left over, and what would my video be if it didn't, get to 9 minutes, 59 seconds here. Here's a little trick. When you play down here, like here, let's see if I don't know if you guys are going to be able to hear this, but it sounds like this. Right, well, actually, here, let me change the pickups. Okay, so here's what it should sound like. Alright, but if you take your pick and you strum up here towards the frets, it sounds a lot more like the song. It's easier for me because I have a pickup that sounds, exactly like it on this guitar by chance. That's why I use this one to do the example. But listen, I'll stick with the same pickup that doesn't really sound like it, and I'll play up here. It sounds a little bit more like it just because of where, I don't know, it just sounds different if you play up here. So here, let's try this again. It is going to be a little harder, or it is for me, so... rather than... Alright, I'm not sure if you guys were even able to hear that, but take my word for it, when you're practicing it, just try it up here if you don't have this pickup. It sounds a lot more like the song, but that's just an added thing to tack on to the end. as usual, if you guys have any questions, let me know. I'll be glad to answer them or make more videos if I need to. And we're at 9:59.